Guys, I'd really like to welcome to the podcast my friend Wayne Allyn Root. He is host of the Wayne Allyn Root Raw and Unscripted, but he's also the author of a terrific book, The Great Patriot Boycott book. Not boycott book, that was his previous one, but boycott book. And Wayne, by the way, his website, rootforamerica.com. You can follow him on Twitter at RealWayneRoot, R-O-O-T. Wayne, a real pleasure. Great to have you on the podcast. There has been all this stuff going on with conservatives on the one hand saying, we don't want to patronize companies that are insulting and assaulting our cherished values, and we instead would like to defect or to patronize companies that share our values. Can you talk a little bit about how this movement even came about? It's relatively new. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we didn't talk about this kind of thing. Is that because you've suddenly got this woke fever in corporate America? What got all this going?
Well, you said defect. I think defund might be a better word. You know, the left wanted to defund the police. How insane. Now we found out what happens when you defund the police. You have massive crime waves across America, and a lot of people pay with their lives. And sadly, Dinesh, a lot of those people that pay with their lives are Democrat voters in inner cities. So defund the police doesn't work, but defund the woke corporations does work. And look, Muhammad Ali said it ain't bragging if you could back it up. I'm the godfather of this movement. I'm the guy who started with national radio and national TV saying, look, I believe elections are rigged and stolen. Look at your wonderful movie, 2000 Mules. Elections are absolutely being stolen all over the United States. So look, I want us to keep voting. I don't want us to be discouraged. I want every Republican, conservative, patriot to get out there and vote. But I'm just pointing out a fact. We can't control the outcome of elections if they're rigged. We don't know if we're going to win elections. But what we can control, this is my original theory, is with our wallets and our pocketbooks, we could put the left out of business. We could starve them. We could financially strangle them. We could financially smother them. And that was my first idea with the Great Patriot Protest and Boycott book 2 years ago. Matter of fact, I've got it here. Great Patriot Protest and Boycott book, 114 companies that we believed, my co-author and I, it's Wayne Allyn Root and Nikki Ballou, and we believed when we did a year of research that these companies were the most woke and the most offensive to conservatives. And if you stopped spending money with them, we believed we could put a lot of them out of business. And I'm very proud. It came out about a year and a half ago. We wrote it 2 years ago, and it's got Disney, it's got Target, it's got Bed Bath & Beyond, it's got Ben & Jerry's, it's got Victoria's Secret. It's got all the companies we now know, Dinesh, are woke. And since this book came out, my buddies on Wall Street studied the companies I put in it, and they're down over $1 trillion in market cap. So we've really hit them where it hurts. I'm not the only one. It was all of us. It was the whole conservative movement that did this. But I kind of started the ball rolling and was the godfather of this boycott idea. So now I came up with what would be part two. Well, that would be the boycott, the Great Patriot Boycott book. Here's all the top companies that you can boycott. There's over 100 companies in here that you can buy from. Instead of the negative side of the coin, it's the positive side of the coin. Let's spend our money with companies run by conservatives and patriots and Republicans and Christians and anybody who loves God and country. And that's what this book's about. And it got endorsed by President Trump. And I'm proud to say, I just got back from a 10-day vacation last night, late. So I'm just now waking up to the world. I knew I had your interview first thing this morning. Last night, I got a Google alert that my name was mentioned. Usually I get that 100 times a day. I clicked on this one, and it was Newsweek. And they did a story on President Trump, how his allies and his enemies both agree has not been active enough fighting woke companies. And the article says the only time he's ever made mention of Bud Light and the woke companies and boycotting woke companies was when he endorsed Wayne Allyn Root's book, The Great Patriot Boycott book. That was the quote in Newsmax. They said that's the only time he's ever waded into the war between right and left over woke companies. So I was very proud to see that. And I'm thrilled he endorsed my book, and I'm thrilled he said there's only one way to beat these guys. Bud Light figured it out, and so we got to do the same thing to everybody. Go buy a copy of Wayne Root's book, The Great Patriot Boycott Book. Well, you know what's funny? Bud Light didn't figure it out, Dinesh. They still are being woke. So we've got to keep this up until they're out of business. We did it with Bed Bath & Beyond. We're doing it with Disney. They're being destroyed. We're going to do it with Target, Ben and Jerry's. There's so many companies. I can't list them all. How about the country music television, CMT? They tried to, defund Jason Aldean's hit single, and now they're getting defunded. We're going to shut them off. So we can do this. We maybe can't affect an election if it's rigged. We have to fight to unrig it and make them stop committing voter fraud. But one thing we can do is we can use our pocketbooks and our purse. We are the silent majority. We spend all the consumer money. And so we are the king of consumerism, and we can punish, badly defund, and put these companies on notice that if you offend conservatives and Christians and patriots, we will put you out of business.
Let's take a pause, Wayne. When we come back, more from Wayne Allyn Root, the author of The Great Patriot Boycott Book. If aches and pains are your problem, Relief Factor is your remedy. Debbie and I started taking Relief Factor a couple of years ago, and what a difference we've seen in our joints. Nothing short of amazing. Aches and pains are totally gone thanks to this 100% drug-free solution called Relief Factor. How does it work? Relief Factor supports your body's fight against inflammation. That's the source of aches and pains. The vast majority of people who try Relief Factor love it, and they order more because it works for them. Debbie's a true believer. She can now do the exercises that for a long time she wasn't able to do. So Relief Factor has been a real game changer for her, her aunt, other members of our family, Mike here in the studio, and for many other people. You too can benefit. Try it for yourself. Order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of just $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF to find out more about this offer. The number again, 800-4-RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. Feel the difference.